Welcome viewers, Dr. J.W. Ayub, to the post-pandemic vaccine therapy journey episode when you stop saying what you really thought. The previous episode ended the psychological siege itself, the scanning, the hypervigilance, the private negotiations, the growing feeling that consequences were moving closer even when nothing appeared physically different. But eventually another adaptation emerged. Silence. Not peaceful silence, protective silence. At first you still speak honestly, not aggressively, not politically, just honestly. A simple question, a simple concern, a simple uncertainty. And the room changes immediately. Nobody needs to threaten you. Nobody needs to shout. Nobody needs to punish you. The reaction itself becomes a warning, a pause, a stare, an awkward silence, a sudden shift in tone. Something inside you notices. Do not go there again. The body learns quickly. Humans survive through belonging, and belonging now feels fragile. So the filtering begins. You delete the comment before posting it, rewrite the email before sending it, remove the sentence before speaking it. The self-editing becomes automatic, not because you stopped thinking, because you started calculating who's listening, who agrees, who reports, who remembers, who decides, who controls access. The calculations become exhausting. The television talks constantly. The phone never stops. The workplace repeats the message. The media repeats the message. The politicians repeat the message. The experts repeat the message. The advertisements repeat the message. And soon it feels as though the entire world is speaking with one voice. And you're standing alone with a question. That's a frightening place for an ordinary person to stand in the middle of an epidemic, a pandemic, especially when the consequences are real. You know people who lost work, people excluded, people ridiculed, people isolated, people publicly shamed. The examples circulate quietly, almost like warnings. Nobody has to threaten you directly. You've already seen what happens. And the ceiling fan just turns and turns. It just keeps turning slowly. Midnight arrives. You're still awake. Replaying conversations. The ones you had, the ones you avoided. The ones you wish you had spoken honestly inside. The mind becomes crowded. The body becomes tired. Yet sleep refuses to arrive. Because silence has a cost too. Every thought suppressed remains active. Every fear ignored remains active. Every question buried remains active. And yet you start carrying entire conversations inside your own head. This is where it's got. Entire arguments, entire defenses, entire explanations. And the outside version of you remains calm. It all seems calm. It all looks calm. The inside version's fighting for air. The split begins damaging people, not because they became weak, but because identity cannot remain divided forever. One part knows what it thinks. Another part knows what it's allowed to say. A third part simply trying to survive. And the distance between those versions grows wider, day by day, week by week. The most effective prison was never built from steel. It was built from anticipation. The anticipation of consequences. The anticipation of exclusion. The anticipation of being noticed. The anticipation of standing alone. And eventually you stop speaking because nobody has to stop you. You stop speaking because your nervous system has already learned the lesson. And that is when many people realize something terrifying. The silence no longer belonged to the government. The silence now belonged to them. Years later, some still carry it. The hesitation, the scanning, the self-correction, the instinctive pause before honesty, the glance over the shoulder before speaking openly. Not because danger remains exactly the same, because the body remembers what happened when honesty became expensive, when honesty became catastrophic. And the deepest censorship was not what others prevented you from saying. It was the moment your own nervous system began protecting you from speaking at all. I'm Dr. J.W. Ayub, theologist since 1994. Like and subscribe to help the channel. Subscribe and comment to educate me, and subscribe and share to help somebody else.